What's up, everybody? It's me, Pave from Judgment Day Fitness, and today we are diving off topic a little bit. And by that, I mean normally I'm a fitness channel because it's in the name Judgment Day Fitness, but I'm also a cancer survivor, and that is a big part of my channel. And so I'm just gonna have to make that sacrifice for you guys. There'll be a fitness video coming next Wednesday, but today I'm gonna dive off and tell you guys about how you should treat a friend or a relative or someone when they have cancer. Now, you'll have to use your own judgment about some of these things. I know there's millions, not millions maybe, but hundreds of different types of cancers, and there's hundreds of different outcomes and things that are going to happen, the way they're going to react to chemo and stuff. And I put this video together last minute a little bit, so there could be more things that I'm missing here, but these are just the first 5 things that popped into my mind. So if you have any other ideas, comment down below. I'd be happy to make a second part or a part 2. But I just want to give you guys some ideas, because I know if you're watching this video, you're probably either you just stumbled upon it, or you want answers and you want to go about things the right way. And again, every situation is going to be different. They could be in chemo for years. I was only in chemo for 3 or 4 months. They could be terminal. I was not terminal. They could be not terminal. They could be doing inpatient treatment. They could be doing outpatient treatment. There's a lot of factors that vary into it, but like I said, you're gonna have to use your better judgment in this case and make that decision. Also, some of these things maybe you'll have to talk it over with their doctors. But this is just some ideas I wanted to plant in you guys' head, and I think everyone around me did everything right, basically. I just want to say that I think I had a great support system. I had my family here. I had a lot of friends, even though most of them were out of town because it was over the summer, which is not their fault. But I think I had a really good support system, and I'm just gonna say some of the things that I think they did right, and I think other people did wrong, or just some of the things I see. So let's get started. Alright, so for my new viewers here, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you want. That'd be appreciated. But I just wanted to give you guys a little background on my cancer history if you don't know it already, because maybe you're not subscribed to this channel. Anyways, I had stage 3 testicular cancer. It went from May of 2017 to October 2017, so this is really a really short little bout with cancer compared to some people that deal with it for years and years before either they die from it or they get cured from it. Let's see, it's very curable. I had a 95% chance of being cured on the first try, and that's not even a 95% chance of survival. That's a 95% chance of being cured. It's really hard to die from testicular cancer unless you ignore it and don't get treated by it. So that's just my background with cancer. Also, I've been in remission for 2 years and a month now, I think. 2 months? Yeah, 2 years and 2 months now. So that's also something to keep in mind. All right, so the first little piece of advice I'm gonna give for you guys is to treat them as normally as possible. Now, what I mean by that is when I had cancer, my friends would still come around me, and they'd still, they wouldn't be like, oh, I just want you to know I feel so bad for you, and I want you to know how sad I am for you, and posting on their Instagram story. Look at this guy right here. He has cancer. Just 1 like equals 1 prayer. Stuff like that. Stupid stuff like that. My friends would still make jokes with me. We'd still crack around, and they didn't treat me any differently just because I had cancer. And that's one thing I applaud my friends for, is I still felt very normal when I was around them, because they didn't give me any special treatment or anything, or wear face masks around me, or nurses masks around me. But of course that varies on the cancer you have, because I didn't need it for mine. But it's just when you have something like that, and when you're making such a big change in your life, you don't want to feel ostracized or outcasted like that. Any kind of being outcast like that, it doesn't feel fun. All right, I mean, some people like the attention. Me personally, I don't like the attention. I didn't like the attention. I appreciated messages and stuff, and the intention behind it was always good. Hey, just wanted to let you know I'm praying for you. Hey, just want to let you know I feel for you. I hope everything goes well. But you still want to feel normal and stuff, and you don't want people to throw pity parties for you. That's not really going to do anything, or at least that's how I saw it. But again, this is your judgment on the person that you're watching this video for. You can make that call on if you think that's what they need or not. All right, so the second thing that I'm going to tell you guys that you can do is keep them entertained. Okay, so when I was doing chemotherapy, and again, I don't know everyone's situation here, but when I was doing chemotherapy, I had to go in 5 days a week for 6 hours a day, and sometimes if it was busy, it'd be more than 6 hours, okay? It was very rarely less than 6 hours, okay? And I understand, it happens. There's a lot of people with cancer out there, so I'm not gonna complain about that at all. I'm just saying that one thing that's a big issue is you're gonna learn patience in there, because you're gonna be bored out of your mind sometimes. So one thing that I think is really important is that maybe you go visit them, maybe you try and just keep them entertained in general. Like, I know a good gift for me, if I didn't have this, would have been Netflix. Like if someone was like, hey, I'll let you leech off of my Netflix account or my Hulu account, or there's like 1,000 different streaming services out there now. But one thing that's really good is funny. So if you can like come up with jokes, if you can just be entertaining in some sort of fashion. Like I watched a lot of comedy shows during that time, like comedy, stand-up comedy stuff, and I really liked shows like that. I forget which shows I watched, but I finished a lot of multiple season shows during that time period that I was in chemotherapy. And so I really appreciated, I also really appreciated when people came and visited me. So again, just keeping someone entertained in chemotherapy is absolutely perfect. So some things that you can get them though would be, again, some kind of account for like Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that. Also portable chargers are really important. Again, 6 hours a day. My phone ran out of battery quite often, so those portable chargers that I had saved my life. Well, okay, that's a little too extreme there. Those portable chargers were a godsend, let's say that, okay, for going through chemotherapy, and I really appreciated them. All right, so my third piece of advice is very situational. I'll just put that out there before I tell you guys. And my third piece of advice to you guys is just don't be a health nut. And what I mean by that, there's a perfect example of this in the movie 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen, Anna Kendrick. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character gets cancer and he has a 50% chance of living. It's a great movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, of course, for certain reasons. But when he tells his mother that he has cancer, the first thing she does, she starts breaking down, and she goes into his kitchen and she grabs a tea bag or whatever, and he's like, "Ma, what are you doing?" She's like, I'm making you green tea. I've heard on the Today Show earlier this month that it reduces your risk of cancer by 15%. And he's like, "Ma, what are you doing? I already have cancer. You can't really," and so stuff like that. I know I got a lot of messages about this. Hey, you should go vegan. Hey, you should get on the keto diet. Hey, you should try dry fasting. All this stuff. But it was kind of unnecessary. It was very unnecessary because I had a 95% chance of being cured, and so. I know the intentions are good when someone says, hey, you should do this, you should do that to help yourself get better, but at the end of the day, the doctor knows best, usually, and I always recommend getting a second opinion, of course, but that's for another video. But at the end of the day, the doctor knows best in terms of what you should be eating, if you should be exercising or not, and those are questions for the doctor. No offense, you probably don't know more than the actual doctor unless you are, in fact, an oncologist, but again, I knew the intentions were great. I knew everyone had my best interests in mind, and I seriously appreciated it. But if I had $1 for every time that someone said I should try this diet or do this, go out and walk more, or, all this stuff, I'd have a lot of dollars basically. And if you want to tell somebody, hey, I think you should try this diet right here, guess what? Hundreds of other people have probably told them that they should go try that diet right there. Again. It's situational because some people do go absolutely crazy about how they can get themselves better. Like I said, I didn't have to worry about it. All I had to do was sit back and take my treatment. But some people have different outcomes or possibilities of what's going to happen with their cancer. I'm sure they have a different situation, of course, and maybe they would want to know about that stuff. But just be very thoughtful about this, because again, if you've told them to try the vegan diet, then hundreds of other people probably told them to do the vegan diet if they have cancer. So some people appreciate it, some people don't. I'll just let you know that I was one of the people who appreciated it, but I would rather people have not said anything because, like I said, 95% chance of survival. All right, so my fourth piece of advice is what I call the ribbon rule. All right, now the golden rule is treat others as you would like to be treated. The ribbon rule is treat them as they want to be treated, okay? And I don't mean that in a bratty way, because, you know, just because you don't have cancer and they have cancer doesn't mean you're obligated to do anything for them. You know, that's just the harsh reality of it. But if you're watching this video, it's because you want to make their experience a little bit better, a little bit easier, make them more comfortable. And I just mostly mean this in a sense of, if they're like, hey, I don't want anyone around me right now, I just want to be left alone. Don't like try and smother them with attention. You know, and maybe that's a discussion you should be having with someone if you're really close to them and they're going through this. You should say, hey, you know, like, what do you want to do when you're going through this? What do you want to happen, basically? Because, you know, my friends didn't really have to ask. They kind of figured it out that I just wanted everything to be normal, and I wanted to pretend it wasn't happening, and I just shaved my head just for the fun of it, and I just lost a bunch of weight for the fun of it. But yeah, there's treat them as they want to be treated, and also, like, I know for me personally, I lost like 42 pounds because everything tasted disgusting because I was on chemotherapy and I just didn't want to eat. And so if someone's like, hey, I want a pizza, okay, go get them a pizza, because it's, you know, it's very important that they put on as much weight as possible. Of course, you know, dietary restrictions from the doctor, maybe, I don't know about that, that's a different story, but I'm not a doctor, you know, and there's a bunch of different situations that can happen here. But, you know, like I said, just treat them as they want to be treated. If they want to go out and have fun, take them out, go have fun. If they want to stay in and watch Netflix or something, stay in, watch Netflix, have a little Netflix party or something, you know? So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my fifth and final piece of advice for you guys is, 1, don't be around them if you're sick. 2, try and create a healthy environment for them. And I know what I said about the whole health nut thing. This is completely different, I promise you. So when you're on chemotherapy, and I think radiation does this to you as well, but your immunity is absolute trash, all right? And on top of that, if you are already going through chemotherapy or radiation or just cancer in general, and you get hit with another sickness like the flu or strep throat or bronchitis or something like that, can you imagine how annoying that would be? So when you are dealing with someone who's on chemotherapy, I know you probably can't help it if you live with them maybe, or if you're just around them a lot and you can't really help it. I understand, and it's not your fault. But if you're sick, just try and not get them sick, basically, and just try and create a healthy environment, you know, like disinfect everything, just try and take extra steps to make sure that germs don't enter their system, you know. I know for me, this really pissed me off so much, but my parents would not let me go see, I think it was Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle. I wanted to see that movie really bad, and they were like, no, movie theater's too dirty. And, you know, it caused a little spat. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm just gonna be completely transparent. Caused a little argument there for a second, but I was mad, man, because I had just finished chemotherapy and my immunity was still down. And something like that, getting sick on top of chemotherapy, it's probably bound to happen, okay? I got sick like twice during chemo and then like once right after chemo. And again, it's something that's just gonna happen, and it may not even be your fault probably. I remember a lot of people in chemo were sick. I heard a lot of coughs all the time, and I remember there's a picture of me, I'll put it on screen if I still have it, but there's a picture of me with the blanket over my nose trying to use it as like a nurse's mask, because the guy next to me wouldn't stop coughing, and obviously he couldn't help it, but I just didn't want to get sick. And I think I actually did get sick from that, but you know what, it happens, and you can't always be the person to prevent everything. You can't be the guardian angel all the time, so it's just bound to happen. And if you can prevent it from happening less, or prevent it from happening more, then that would be perfect. All right, so for some reason my audio got cut off, or the mic got cut off during my outro when I was filming it. Well, thankfully this didn't happen at the beginning of the video. But anyways, seriously want to say I appreciate you guys so much for watching the video, and if you have any other ideas that I might have missed, please comment them in the comment section down below, because I would always love to make a part 2. So that's just something to keep in mind. Also, my Instagram and Twitter are in the description below, and you can follow me there. I'd seriously appreciate that. Also, comment on this video, like this video, check out my other videos, do the same thing, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys every Wednesday and Saturday, because that's how often I'm posting. See you next time.